Before we get to Belmont, I really want to touch on your Auburn win. It was a big win for you guys. To start off, you guys were down 38-29 at half, went on to win 88-81 in overtime. How crucial was that start of the second half where you guys went on a 12-3 run, all your points scored by Reggie and Ed, and to be able to tie it up at 41? What did you tell your team at halftime?
Well, Giddy was struggling in the first half. He didn't have his same physicalness and toughness, so we decided to go with Ed in the starting lineup and bring Giddy off. And it worked. I mean, Ed got us off to a tremendous start. We guarded a lot better. Just our defensive intensity was better, led to better offense. And then when Giddy came into the game, it was maybe his best half of basketball. He played physical. He drove the ball. And then obviously we had a number of different guys, Reggie, Perrin, Darnell. And you have to have a lot of guys to play well to win a game like that.
You mentioned having a lot of players having to play well to win a game like that. You had 5 players in double figures. How nice is that to have as a coach? There's multiple guys on your team that can go out and get double figures for you.
Yeah, balance is always key, and every basketball coach is looking for that. And I thought we had good defensive balance. We had good balance rebounding the ball. And then, like I said, you got scoring from 4 or 5 different guys, which I thought spread the floor. And like I said, it made for exciting offensive because they had good balance, and obviously their one guy got going late.
Speaking of that one guy, Canty, you see it a lot in NBA and college basketball, the Fowler defend dilemma. Before that shot he hit to go into overtime, he'd hit his last 3 straight. What was your plan? Were you planning on fouling, or was that your plan all along, was to defend and hopefully he'd finally miss?
Yeah, well, we had, Ed went to the line. If he makes both free throws, it's over. He missed the first, so I called timeout. And I was still in my mind, I would foul, but with 11.5 seconds, it's a lot of time. And then do you wait till he gets to the front court, and when he does, you foul, and then you run the risk, which you see, and it happened to us 3 years ago, he goes into quick active shooting. And does the official, now it's his judgment, does he call a foul and they shoot 3 free throws? So that bothers you. If you can just 4 or 5 seconds and they throw it in and you foul him immediately, that's what we'd have done. Then we thought about maybe going 1-3-1 trap, and if you do that, sometimes you leave corner threes open. So then in that back of our mind, I said, let's just guard him and just see if he'll make another one, and he did,
Now, you mentioned he was able to send it into overtime because of a missed free throw, but to turn around in overtime and go 9 for 10 from the free throw line, how nice is that for you to see your team? They miss a free throw to send it basically into overtime and allow them to send it into overtime, and then to be able to knock down 9 of 10 free throws to really put the game away in overtime.
Yeah, that was a huge stat, and we've done that late game this year. We've made some critical free throws in most of our games and winning 6 of 7. But what we really did is we really guarded in the overtime. I don't know if our team got tested, down 9 at half, and then they came down, got down 3 in overtime. So we got tested at the highest level, and to respond and do what we did says a lot for the mental toughness of our team.
You mentioned defense. You held the 5th ranked team in the nation in scoring to just 81 points with extra time. Before that, your highest allowed points were 76 against Murray State. You kind of mentioned in your press conference that you hang your hat on defense. Is that something you can go towards, especially when the baskets aren't falling on the offensive end?
Yeah, our team is allowing 39% from the field defensively, which one of the top 2 or 3 in Conference USA. And you're right, it did go into I can't even remember now what the regulation score was, but it was in the 70s. And Auburn's going to score. I told our staff, I said, guys, we're going to have to get 74 to 75 because you're not going to shut Auburn out. And but I did. I thought we held them right at 40%. Their second half percentage was a lot lower. So you're right. Every night that's what we have to do.
Can you talk about the atmosphere there in Bridgestone Arena? It almost seemed like you mentioned in your press conference. It almost seemed like a tournament game where both teams are well represented with their crowd.
Well, it was, and I thought our administration did a fantastic job. Hats off to Bridgestone to be able to turn it around like that. Auburn brought a nice contingent of fans, and when you always get 2 fan bases in one arena, it makes the atmosphere, makes it better. And but I thought our fans, we had over 7,000 people in Bridgestone in an early start at 12 o'clock, and so I thought it was good. I was hoping the lower bowl would be sold out. It was mostly full, but it was a good atmosphere. The whole fans, everybody in the arena stood for probably the last 8 or 10 minutes of the game, so the atmosphere was good. And then just to win a game in Nashville, people sometimes say, why are you going to play a game in Nashville? Well, number one, Auburn won't come to our home court. And number 2, that's how we have to get those kind of series done, even like Vanderbilt. But number 2, you get right there the Nashville media. and the crowd, and then they get all of that, and it goes kind of on the national circuit for the next 2 days, which is good.
Obviously, in the locker room, you were very excited. What does this win do for your team moving forward, especially with Belmont coming in on Thursday?
Well, it's a good RPI win. Auburn's going to win a lot of games, and they've got a really tough schedule ahead of them too. But they're going to win a lot of games. Their RPI is going to be good at the end of the year, so it's going to be another good RPI win for our team. Anytime you can beat an SEC team, it's great. The last now 3 or 4 years, we've beaten Ole Miss a couple times, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Auburn. That's good credibility for recruiting and your fan base, and then obviously momentum going into a really, really good Belmont team on Thursday night.
That game Thursday night, 6 p.m. on ASN. Before we get into their individuals, what do they do well offensively and defensively as a team collectively?
Well, they've just been scoring so many points. They're averaging about 84 a game. They're giving up about 80. But their team is so well balanced offensively. They've got a 5-man. Everybody knows Belmont for shooting threes, but they've got a 5-man that leads the country in field goals made. He's averaging about 20 a game. They've got great experience, a lot of guys returning from last year's team. They make 10 threes a game. Auburn's making like 10 threes a game. So it's just good balanced scoring. You got to guard them at every spot.
Now individually, Evan Bradsy's first in the country in field goal percentage. What's your plan defensively? Is this almost a game where you really fully commit to him and try to make somebody else on the other team make a basket and try to beat you?
No, because they got a lot of guys that can do it. I mean, Bradshaw is tremendous. They just got balance. They do. Their 4-man is a guy who can make threes, and I mean, obviously Brad is a really good player. But you've got to guard him. You got to try to guard him by yourself. You'll double team him at times, but you can't do that the whole game because they pass it out too well. You've got to mix some things in there with them. You got to keep them off balance. But again, it's just like Auburn. You got to score some points. I mean, you're not going to shut Belmont out. They're a good offensive team that can hit you in a lot of different spots.
Now you hang your hat on defense. Austin Luke on their team, 6th in the nation in assists per game, 4th in total assists. Is this where you hope your 1-3-1 trap with that length up top can hopefully force some turnovers into transition buckets?
Well, they're good in transition, so you got to get back. Valparaiso has done the best job of guarding them, held them to 57. Valpo's a really good team. And so, you got to just get them to where they have to run half-court offense. Their point guard are getting really good point guard play, just like they are a lot of different positions. You got to keep him out of the paint. But what he does, he's a really good passer, and he's got good size.
What are your 3 keys for this game?
Well, we talk about a lot points off turnovers, the Auburn game, and we won that battle, points off turnovers. We think bench play is a huge key to our success. Our bench play was really good, 18-11 against Auburn. So those two will be keys. We're going to guard, but we've got to run effective offense. And I think offensively we're getting better. We're doing more different things, and so we got to spread the floor and attack inside out. So offensively will be a big key in this game.